In a quiet village, far from noise and ambition, lived an old woman most people barely noticed. She didn't own land people fought over. She didn't wear clothes that demanded respect. She didn't speak much. If anyone remembered her at all, it was only because of the chickens. They wandered freely around her small yard, pecking the ground like they trusted the earth itself. And every morning, before the village fully woke up, she stepped outside with a small wooden bowl. She never rushed. She scattered grain slowly, as if every grain had a purpose, as if wasting even one would be disrespectful. People walking past shook their heads. "She's too careful," they said, "too slow. In this world, you have to grow fast or be left behind." She heard them. She always heard them. But she had lived long enough to know something most people learn too late. Noise does not equal progress. Speed does not equal strength. Years earlier, she had tried growing fast. Back then, she had bought too many chickens at once, fed them without understanding their limits, expanded without learning. For a short while, it worked. Then sickness came, then loss, then silence. She buried more than chickens that year. She buried impatience. From that moment on, she made a promise to herself. Nothing in her care would be rushed again. She began with fewer chickens, watched them closely, learned their habits, which hen laid better eggs, which needed more rest, which couldn't handle cold nights. She didn't replace weakness immediately, she strengthened it. Twice a week, she walked to the town market. Other sellers arrived early, shouting prices, competing loudly. She stood quietly at the edge. No signs, no tricks, just baskets of eggs, clean, uncracked, carefully placed. People noticed, not because she demanded attention, but because trust has a way of pulling people in. Her eggs were always good, always consistent, never rushed. Soon, buyers came looking specifically for her. Others tried to copy her success. They bought more chickens, bigger cages, more feed, more pressure. Some made money quickly, then disappeared just as fast. She watched without judgment because she wasn't competing. She was building something that could survive. A form of quiet success that didn't need applause to grow. One afternoon, a well-dressed merchant arrived from the city. He examined her eggs carefully. "I can take everything you produce," he said, "every single day. I'll pay more than anyone else here." The village buzzed. This was the moment people waited for their whole lives. Neighbors urged her, "This is your chance. Say yes before he changes his mind. You won't get another offer like this." She listened politely. Then she asked one question, "And if my chickens cannot keep up?" The merchant smiled. "Then you buy more." She looked at her yard, at the hens scratching peacefully in the dirt, and she said, "No." The crowd was stunned. They thought she was afraid. They thought she didn't understand opportunity. But she understood it better than they ever would. Because she knew something dangerous about big promises. They often demand sacrifices you can't see yet. The merchant laughed. People laughed. She missed her moment, they said. But moments that demand you destroy what sustains you are not opportunities, they are traps. Years passed. Storms came that destroyed large coops. Prices fell. Markets changed. People who had grown fast collapsed just as fast. Her small yard remained. Slowly, quietly, her chickens multiplied. Not through pressure, through care. She never chased more than she could protect. A slow growth story built on understanding limits. By the time her hair turned completely gray, something remarkable happened. She stopped going to the market. She no longer had the strength, yet buyers came to her. Not because she was loud, not because she was big, but because what she built lasted. One evening, a young boy from the village asked her, Why didn't you try to become bigger?" She smiled gently and said, "Because becoming bigger is easy, staying alive is hard." She taught him something simple that night. Anything that grows faster than your ability to care for it will eventually collapse. Most people chase more. They forget to protect what they already have. Most people worship speed. They underestimate endurance. She never tried to look successful. She tried to remain standing, and that made her rare, a living example of how patience and wealth often grow together when no one is rushing them. This was never a story about chickens or eggs or selling. It was about patience with direction, growth with responsibility, progress that respects limits. One of those life lessons about money people only understand after it's too late. Because real wealth, real success is not what expands quickly. It's what survives when pressure arrives. It's built through long-term thinking, not excitement. And if this story stayed with you, it's because somewhere inside you already know. Rushing feels powerful, but steady wins quietly.